It's Thursday, January 7th, and you're watching The Great Lost Rewatch. Today we're watching the Season 4 episode, The Other Woman. It turns out that Juliet is the other woman. We find this out under flashbacks. On the island, she's sleeping around with Goodwin, who has a wife named Harper, who is Juliet's therapist. And she is a hateful, hateful person. She's just mean. Not a very good therapist. She warns Juliet not to go sleeping around with Goodwin, not because it's her husband, but because Ben wouldn't like it, because Ben likes Juliet because she looks like her. Who's her? Harper. Basically, through the course of the events, we find out that Ben is pretty hateful too. He sent Goodwin off to the tail section because he knew Juliet and him were having a thing, and he didn't like it because Juliet is his, and he lets Juliet know it, that she is his and he will do whatever it takes, kill anybody that stands in his way. Back on the island, Dan and Charlotte have run into the woods, and so Juliet and Jack go after them. Juliet runs into Harper in the woods, and Harper tells Juliet that Dan and Charlotte have gone to the Tempest to set off the gas, and that Ben wants Juliet to kill them. So Jack finds the two of them and is like, "Who are you?" and they run off. Anyway, Jack and Juliet are on the trail. Dan and Charlotte run into Kate, and they knock Kate out because she's figuring out too much and run off. Jack and Juliet find Kate. Juliet runs away ahead of Jack and Kate to the Tempest, where she gets into a girl fight with Charlotte, and Dan neutralizes the gas and saves the day, and Jack and Juliet kiss, and she says, there's going to be a war, and Ben knows how I feel about you, and that puts you in a lot of danger, and Jack's like, well, he knows where to find me. Kiss. Back with Locke at Dharmaville, he's starting to have doubts about his being a leader, or the seed of doubt has been planted. Claire asks him if she can go talk to Miles, thinking that maybe she's a little friendlier face, that maybe she'll get some answers out of him, which I think is nice because, Claire can step up, do something for the team. Ben gets under Locke's skin and says, if you let me live amongst you, eat with a knife and fork and sleep in a real bed, then I will give you all the information I have. Locke agrees. Ben shows Locke a video of Charles Widmore and says, this is the man who hired the people on the boat. He's trying to find the island so he can exploit it. And he doesn't happen to mention that Charles Widmore used to be a leader of the others. That would be nice information to know, Ben. Basically, at the end of the episode, we get a funny thing where Sawyer and Hurley are playing horseshoes, and they see Ben walking through Dharmaville with some sheets, and they're like, what? And Ben's like, see you at dinner. Crazy. Yeah, I think so too. So that's basically the gist of it. I didn't really care for the Tempest plot. We know Ben killed everybody with gas the first time, and there obviously is a source of gas on the island, but I didn't really care for the whole neutralizing of the gas thing. I thought it was kind of just filler. Stalling. And you know how much we all hate stalling and filler. But the rest of it I did kind of find interesting, the stuff with Locke and Ben. I always love Locke and Ben together. They play off each other really well, and they always have an interesting dynamic. Basically, the big question is, who does Juliet supposedly remind Ben of? I'm guessing Annie, but we haven't actually ever gotten that answered, so. One fun little Easter egg, I guess, is that on Harper's diploma that's hanging on the wall, there's a Hanso Foundation logo, which is weird, right? Maybe that's why she's not a very good therapist. She got her degree through the Hanso Foundation. Anyway, I guess that's it. Leslie, you'll be back tomorrow with Ji-Yun, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.
We're gonna need to watch that again.